I never expected my life to change the day she appeared at my door. The evening was ordinary, the kind of quiet Thursday night where the only sound was the hum of my apartment's old heater and the occasional distant siren. I was curled up on my couch, half watching a documentary about the ocean, when a sharp knock jolted me from my half-conscious state. I wasn't expecting anyone. I live alone. And frankly, I don't have many visitors. Curious, I opened the door. Standing there was a woman unlike any I'd ever seen. Tall, lithe, with skin shimmering faintly like a pearl under the streetlight. Her eyes were an unnatural violet, large and glowing softly. She wore a long, flowing robe that shimmered with a metallic sheen. "I am Zarya," she said, her voice melodic but tinged with exhaustion. "I need your help." The request. Before I could even respond, she stepped inside without waiting for an invitation, her gaze scanning the cramped apartment as if she were calculating how many calories it would take to heat this place. "I am a widow," she said, voice low. "My husband was taken by war. My children need a father." My eyebrows knitted in confusion. Children. Father. You need a place to stay. She nodded. "More than that. I need you to warm my bed. To be a father to my children. To help me raise them." I blinked. Was this some elaborate prank? Maybe a new kind of street performance? But her earnestness was undeniable. "Look," I said, trying to sound firm but not rude. "I'm just a regular guy. I don't know anything about alien families." She smiled faintly, sad but hopeful. "That is why I chose you." The explanation. Zarya sat on my couch, her glowing eyes fixed on me like she was reading my soul. Slowly, she explained. Her world, Aurelie's, was at war. Her husband, a warrior, had been killed in a raid. But unlike humans, Aurelians have children born not from just one biological father, but from a communal bond that requires a male presence for the children's growth, physically and mentally. The children had been conceived before her husband's death, but they were still embryos, growing in biopods hidden in her ship. "They need a male human's warmth," she said softly, "to develop fully. It is a biological requirement unique to our species." I shook my head, struggling to keep up. "You want me to share your bed with your unborn alien children? That's insane." She stood, eyes pleading. "Please. Without you, they will not survive." The biopods. The next night, she showed me her ship, parked in a hidden lot behind my building. It looked like a sleek silver pod, no bigger than a car, but inside was a nursery. Four translucent biopods lined the walls, each pulsing with a soft light. Inside each, a tiny alien fetus floated in a glowing amniotic fluid. Their features were delicate, tiny, violet eyes just like Zarya's, with slender fingers. "They're fragile," she said. "Without warmth, without the human touch, they will never fully develop." My heart thudded painfully. I was staring at alien children who needed me, a complete stranger, to survive. "How do I help?" I asked, unsure if my voice was steady. She smiled. "You will share my bed each night. Your body heat, your heartbeat, your presence, it is the only thing that can nourish them." The first night. That night, I lay in her bed, feeling like a science experiment. The warmth of my body was transferred through a strange biomatrix beneath the sheets. I could hear the gentle, almost imperceptible heartbeat of the children, for small lives depending on me. Zarya lay beside me, her skin cool but comforting. She told me stories of Aurelie's, a planet of violet forests and crystal oceans, while I drifted between sleep and wakefulness. The weight of responsibility pressed down on me, but a strange connection began to form. I wasn't just a host. I was becoming a guardian. Weeks passed. Days turned into weeks, and the children grew stronger. The biopods glowed brighter, and Zarya's health improved visibly. I started learning about Aurelian customs, about their concept of family, about the sacred bond between parent and child, no matter what species. At work, I was distracted. At home, I was devoted. I felt like I had a secret, a mission bigger than anything I'd ever imagined. The neighbors whispered about the strange woman who came and went at odd hours, but I didn't care. My life was no longer mine alone. The unexpected bond. One night, as Zarya rested, I reached out and touched one of the biopods. The skin of the pod was warm, almost alive. I could swear I felt a faint pulse in response. Then, something miraculous happened. The pod shimmered, and the tiny face of one of the children pressed against the glass, a small, alien hand waving. I laughed softly, amazed and terrified all at once. "You see," Zarya said, smiling. "They are alive because of you." The threat returns. Just as I started to believe this was a strange but beautiful new chapter in my life, the war came closer. Zarya's enemies had tracked her down to Earth. One night, the ship's alarm blared, a deep, ominous sound. "Enemies approach," Zarya said urgently. "I must protect my children." We scrambled to the ship, the pods glowing wildly. Outside, strange ships, dark, menacing, hovered in the sky. Zarya's strength was fading. "You must hide the children," she said, handing me a small, glowing device. "This will cloak the pods temporarily, but you must keep them safe until I return." The choice. I hid the pods in my apartment's old boiler room, the only place dark and warm enough. Zarya went out to confront the invaders, leaving me with a heavy heart and a promise to keep her children alive. Hours passed. I heard nothing but the pounding of my own heart. The return and the truth. Zarya returned, battered but victorious. "I owe you my life," she whispered, "and the lives of my children." But then came the hardest truth. "To survive fully, the children must be born on Earth," she said. "And to do that, you must become their father, legally and biologically. You must marry me." I stared. "Marry you? An alien?" She nodded solemnly. "It is the only way to protect them, and us, from those who would try to take them away." The decision. It was the hardest decision I ever made. I was just a regular guy, but suddenly I was asked to be part of an intergalactic family, to become a husband to an alien widow, to be father to children not just from this world. But looking into her tired eyes, seeing the hope and trust she placed in me, I knew what I had to do. "Yes," I said finally. "I'll marry you. I'll be there for your children." The wedding. It wasn't a traditional wedding. No tuxedos or flowers. Instead, we gathered in the ship's glowing chamber, surrounded by the pods now pulsing with life. With a simple exchange of promises, the bond was sealed. Human and alien joined in a family no one could have imagined. The new family. Months later, the children were born, 4 radiant little beings, part alien, part human. They grew quickly, thriving on love, warmth, and the bond we shared. My life was no longer ordinary. It was extraordinary. I was a father. To children from the stars. And with Zarya by my side, we faced the universe together. Epilogue. Some nights, I still wake up and wonder if I'm dreaming. But then I hear the soft laughter of our children and feel Zarya's hand in mine. They need me. I need them. In the end, family is what you make it, no matter what planet you come from.